Well, it almost feels like I'm forgetting how to do these streams sometimes. I've just been doing them a little frequently as of late after coming back from a break from holiday. And every time it just feels like a little bit, am I forgetting something? But I think we're good. I think we're live on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. Oh yeah. The egg hunt is over. You'll find out about that soon enough. No spoilers though. Lucaro, Spooky Dokie, thank you for bananas in chat. Lets me know that we're live. We're listening to the new Minecraft soundtrack. It seems to be extremely quiet for me. Let's turn this up here. I want to hear that. So, if you did not catch it, new snapshot, new record disc, new soundtrack. Let's equip some armor here. All of those wonderful things. New paintings. There was some other stuff. You can go watch the video if you need to know. Today, though, on Hermitcraft, we're going to be doing some stuff. Gathering materials. You may notice that just all the grindy, boring stuff happens on stream, basically. And that seems to be especially true as of the nature. Okay, I want to look in there. If I press this button... Okay, that should do the trick. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Lucaro1357, thank you for 41 months. Fun fact, the iconic clown music, da 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 da, is titled Entry of the Gladiators. I don't know what that is. I can't make it out. Like, it's not obvious to me. The Amazing Hazard is here for 3 months. Glad to have you with us, my dude. We also had 3 new Patreons sign up. Mrs. Equinez, Veris, and Brian Winenut. Thank you for signing up. I hope you enjoy playing on the Let's Play Minecraft Together server. It's so cool to see it growing so much at the moment. So I hope you enjoy your time there. We've got the one, the only, Bait and Daniil here for 14 months. Like, subscribe, and follow. A cooking channel would be awesome. Yeah, I'd love to have a little bit of fun doing some cooking on camera or whatever. It's just, you know, what can you do with your time, right? And every now and then I take pictures of like some food that I've cooked, but I never actually get around to sharing them on Twitter or anything. Nordicaon, thank you ever so much for 11 months of support. Greatly appreciated. I've also just remembered I'm supposed to keep my Discord open. Winnie in chat says, FYI, new patrons won't be whitelisted until May. That is very true. If you wish to get instantly whitelisted, there is a way. Let me just get my Discord open. There we go. Yeah, I did say it like right at the beginning. I thought there was something I've forgotten, and now I know what it is. Okay, that's all set up. Let's continue walking. Yeah, the way. What was the way? No, it... There we go. You see how it blinked? That's what I'm telling you. The stream deck, it's like the buttons are wonky. Yeah, you can go to xisumavoid.com/getwhitelisted. There are other ways to join, some of which are instant. Silent Noise is here for 8 months. Thank you so much, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Blue Barker says, I'd love to see an Xisuma have a lifestyle channel, maybe cooking, haha. I love the videos where people show their day realistically and not even notice the camera. You'll probably find it really boring. Like, you know, I'll be cooking and then I'll be doing this thing and then that thing. It probably won't be the most interesting thing ever. Kirby Ross, thank you for 10 months, and Crispy Rice PC, thank you for 13. Appreciated. Super hyped to all the new Minecraft music from yesterday. Me too, my dude. Me too. That new record 5. Dang, I feel like the whole portal theory to me was a bit of like a fan wish, you know, and I felt like it might be negative to have this portal theory embraced too strongly by the community. Because it would be very typical for people to then be like, oh, I thought we were going to get a new dimension and all that. Well, the latest record disc, Mojang must have put that together, right? And thought, this sounds like, you know, there's a portal being opened and whatnot. And if they didn't, they have set themselves up for probably a lot of like anger and disappointment later down the road. And you know, that's not going to come from me. I'm very aware though there is like a vocal, a loud minority of people that get this idea in their head that, you know, Mojang owe them some sort of feature or whatever, and they get all upset about it. I can see that happening now big time. But I really don't think they could have made that track without wanting players to think about a portal. I really can't see it. Like, surely someone went, hey, this kind of sounds like a portal, and we don't want to disappoint, you know, the player base and stuff. I am now seriously thinking that Mojang would add another dimension. Okay? Like, before I felt like it was a fan thing. Now I'm like, you can't put in a song like that and then not deliver a new dimension later on, right? If they don't, it'll just, people will comment about it forever. What about that track 5? Like, what about the new dimension? Where is it? You gotta have the reserved excitement, says Crispy Rice. I'm at a point where, you know, there's things I'd love to put into the game and see. I'm patient. I'll wait. I'll enjoy whatever comes along. I always enjoy the development of the game. And I get to see firsthand how the community reacts to a lot of this stuff by reading my comments. And I know that people like to get it in their heads that there's some sort of thing that Mojang are supposed to do, right? Like Mojang can't change their mind or make a decision one day and change it another, right? Like, you still get angry comments about bundles and stuff like that. So I know that, you know, if they're not going to put in a dimension now, they've set themselves up for some community outrage. Which, to me, I think they're smart enough to know that they shouldn't have put that record in if there isn't a dimension. So now I'm pretty much thinking there's going to be a dimension, right? What do y'all think? One word, archaeology, says JM01. Yeah, archaeology bundles. The Deep Dark itself got pushed back, right? And you saw some negative reaction to this. I did anyway. People were like, oh, why can't Mojang get it together? I'm going to ask my mods to make a poll instead of doing it myself so I can focus on what I'm doing here. Can we get a poll for if people now think that there will be a new dimension? Just based on the record, right? Like, did the record now convince you there's going to be another dimension? Philo so far 42, thank you for 6 months, and Nordicaean, thank you so much for gifting subs to our community. ARE3, Elfex Girlfriend, Mystic Beans, Catastrophic EXE, and BN9S. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in that chat because we always appreciate the gifting of the subs around here. We do. I think the record is just telling a story, says Puzzle Freck. God, that's so loud! Palm Tree Dude, thank you for the cheers and biddies. I have no idea why that one, on occasion, just comes through very loud. Whatever. Thank you so much for the support. You know, you made me think, like, getting a little too focused on the flint and steel sound. Like, it could just be someone came through a nether portal, right? And if that's what Mojang were thinking, then, well, I bet you a lot of people are going to have the same theory that I had, and they're going to hold on to that. And they're going to be screaming about, when are we going to get that dimension? It's, like, the fan demand for it is already pretty strong, and I'd be sympathetic to the pressures that a community can put on its developers. But with that record, I'm like, yeah, you're kind of setting yourselves up for it now. That's how I feel anyway. I could be wrong there. Maybe it was intentionally supposed to be a nether portal, but with all that speculation about the portal, it seems to me like surely they're setting us up. Like, we don't know what the next theme is going to be for the next update. It could just be like a whole new dimension. Just focus on one dimension, right? Put a whole bunch of stuff into it. I do think there's an opportunity to do a dimension differently. Like, if you go for a portal, right, who says the dimension has to conform to previous standards? Like, you know, a world that you can explore, or it has a certain height, or that there's blocks in it. Like, I don't know, you could do anything when you go through that portal, right? It could create some sort of mini game, momentary challenge. Like, use your imagination. You know, spin the game on its head a little bit. Just because it might be a portal to somewhere, maybe it's not even a dimension. Either way, they could do something really cool with all of that. Like, what if you went to like the Warden's homeworld or something, and you couldn't even stay there for very long, right? I've been thinking about this a lot. I was thinking about the end dimension and what I think the end dimension could do, because they've done the Nether update, they've been focusing on some biomes and overworld features. Like, the world has been treated to a lot of updates, right? And the end's been left alone for a while. I reckon what the end dimension needs is some resources. I think then, like, I was thinking Totems of Undying, right? If you nerfed raid farms, and then maybe in the end dimension, and not that this makes any sense, but maybe there's like some sort of ore or something that you can mine and then trade with a villager for the Totem of Undying. And you can only get it in the end. Now, the end is kind of boring when you explore it, but you have to explore it to find end cities. So, like, why not make the terrain itself really interesting and challenging? We've seen that Mojang can make really interesting terrain now. Why not do that in the end? You know, you don't have to throw in tons of features and biomes, because the reality is you're going to go to another dimension, get what you need from it, and come back to your base in the overworld most of the time. So the end doesn't need, you know, a bunch of special treatment and biomes and stuff, but maybe what it needs is just terrain. So when you do that trip out to the end cities, like, the terrain is interesting, and then inside it, maybe there are some very difficult and challenging areas. Maybe they spawn a particular type of hostile mob. You know, think the Piglin Brute, right? So, like, maybe not a structure, but like a terrain structure. And then you go mine all the end stone, and in it you can find like a special type of it that drops these little things you can trade with the villagers and then get Totems of Undying. So, like, rather than have that item be infinite, and rather than having to go to like very risky places to get your hands on it, why not make it another type of challenge inside the end? You know, just thinking about the game like that, really. That's what I've been doing because of all this update and portal thinking. Let's have a look at the result of the poll. Will there be a new dimension? What does the chat think? No! 90 votes. Oh, 51%. Wow. Okay, so pretty neck and neck. People are split down the middle. We got Anonymous Dab here for 2 months. Blurberry here for free. And Rafgar18Thor3, thank you for subscribing. Greatly appreciated, as always, peeps. Your support is tremendous. We've got Lizzie Best in stream. Welcome to the stream, Lizzie. Let's now grab a box and put the things in it. I love the new music, by the way. Wrote a music blog about that today. It'll also go up on the music channel before long. Let's hear your theories, chat. If they do make a new dimension, I don't think it will be in this update cycle, says Aliowitch. Yeah, I don't think it's going to come in a future snapshot. It doesn't really suit the way they've done stuff before, and I don't think Mojang will like plan a big surprise, like, oh, we're gonna, you know, develop the game like normal, and then right before the wild update, which has got to be around the corner now, if you think about it, with the soundtrack out. I'll have to go back and look and see how long it took between the soundtrack of the last one and it being released, but, you know, within a month, I think now you could probably expect to see the wild update, and I don't think they're just going to unleash some other big feature on us. And what is that very loud noise in my ear? It's Fegley here, Cheers and Bits, saying, I think it would be more interesting if, instead of a portal, actually a tuning fork, which maybe you could use to resonate into a different place of the vanilla world, like a spirit world, but more like a skulk spectrum. Lets you see the invisible skulk creatures or features which exist in our overworld. We just can't see it as we're living in the wrong frequency. I don't know, I think it would fit in with the sound-based mechanics. You mean the vibration-based mechanics? That's a beautiful idea, actually. It immediately reminds me of like a mycelial network, right? Like the secret world of mushrooms and oh, if you've never looked into that stuff, that's amazing. So mushrooms are like very deeply interconnected with lots of parts of nature, and so, you know, you'll have what you can see, like the soil and the trees and the plants, but they'll all be sort of interconnected through this mycelial web, and the mushroom and the fungus interacts with the soil and the plants in like these amazing ways. And that could almost be what Skulk is like. Like, it's the manifestation of that secret world coming into the overworld. And then being able to, like, tune into its frequency. I mean, maybe it would allow you to, like, fast travel through the overworld to other patches of Skulk somewhere. I don't think that's what they got planned, but that's a really cool idea nonetheless. We got Hunter is Hunted here with the Amazon Prime subscription. Thank you for using the Prime on me, my dude. Appreciate you doing that. We also got Anonymous Dab gifting to subs. Thank you so much. Lucifer, Patron of Art. Julio Brewers. Lynn's Cog02, Father of Apocalypse. Tesh G, Sass Muffin, Penelope Syke, Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff, Califu, and Cyber Bees. Y'all been gifted subs. Be sure to say thanks in the chat. We always appreciate that, of course. I mean it when I say it. So thank you. Mycelium is that fast-spreading natural network. Yeah, I mean it's the fungal network. I don't know if it's so much fast spreading or if it's just like ancient. It's got its like roots everywhere, so to speak. Kuko for Cocoa Puff says, I got gifted a sub. Awesome, thanks. Thank you for saying thanks, my dude. Also, Jason JS, thanks for using the Amazon Prime on me. Appreciate that ever so much. Wait, I can only send a bit message if it's 500 bits. Well, that's sad, says JMO1. I'll be on the lookout for your message. I don't want cheers and bits to be a reason not to be able to interact. And the reason it's 500 is because I see it like a donation. It's there to use if you want to support the channel directly. I don't really want to like glean little bits of your biddies just for interactions. So I do try and read chat. Although if you've been around here a lot, you'll know that I tend to just waffle a lot. I've always loved the weird mushroom interconnectivity, the way fungus sits on that border between animal and plant. I love learning more about fungi. In the update, had anything to do with that, it would be awesome, says Cryptic Kid. Yeah, I guess fungi interacts with animals too, right? In various ways. I mean, there's just so much like fascinating facts you can learn about fungus and whatnot. That like it's almost hard to to retain it. There's just so much craziness about them. I retain the impression of like, whoa, like fungi is kind of amazing. X reads a lot of random chat messages though, says Skyfighter. I do, yeah. So are we talking about fun boys, says Andy Ness. I mean, is that some sort of abbreviation for fungus? Because we're talking about fungus all of a sudden. Have you seen the mushroom music IRL, says Smitty Ventures? I don't think I have. Also got Noises in the Ear from Version Amiga for 34 months. Saying, hey peeps, hope we're all doing good. And USD VALP is here subscribing. Thank you so much for the subscription. And he literally read that one, says Skyfire. You can type that again. Mycondis coming to a basement near you. That's a fungi related thing, Mycondis, isn't it? Right, how much of this stuff I need? I've probably got enough to finish the project that I'm working on. So, we won't stick around here forever. And we'll take this stuff back real soon. But we'll finish the little patch that we're doing right now. So what you might notice... Oh, is that it? I thought there was more. What you might notice is that, like, we have to scrape away the sand to get to the sandstone. I haven't found a deep sandstone patch yet. I'm not sure if I want to get a bit more of this stuff. I'm pretty sure... I mean, I've definitely... No, now I think about it, I've definitely got enough. There's no way I'm going to fall short here. Gene Enius, thank you for 17 months of support, my dude. Appreciate it. Let's have a read of the chat. What do you need sandstone for? I need it for building. This track is my favourite from the latest updates, says Crispy Rice. My favourite is the first one, I think. Is that Fireflies? Was Fireflies first on the list? Okay, and then from here there's another portal we can go visit. X, you mentioned drinking coffee lately. What kind of creamer do you use? I like coconut creamer. I don't use a creamer. I didn't know having a creamer was a thing. I mean, you can put clotted cream in it, right? I saw a lot of hate for Lena Raine's music, talking about how it changed the vibe of Minecraft. While I do love the nostalgia of the old tracks, the new ones fit the exploration and evolution of Minecraft, says Cryptic Kid. I couldn't agree more, my dude. I'm gutted to hear that some people aren't enjoying what she's done. I mean, music is so subjective, and even one's own opinions on music can be subjective into the way you experience them. You know, you hear the right thing at the right time. Like, maybe you find some new genre of metal, right? Metal? Some new genre of music, and, like, you binge it, and you don't get to the classics. You didn't know what the classics were, and then by the time you get to the classics, it's like, oh, I'm kind of like, I'm done on this. You know, but if someone has shown you those classics first, oh, they'd just be the best records ever, right? Oh! No! This is where I'm going to build my witch farm for the season, over here somewhere. So yeah, if someone just showed you those records, like, at the right time, you know, and I feel like it's going to be real easy for people to get this mindset in of, like, you can't replace C418. And I don't think Lena replaces C418. I think she's got, like, a voice of her own. If you listen to some of her solo material, you can really hear, like, something, like, unique and great. Not to say like C418, but in the same sense that C418 has a unique voice. And the music that she composed so far, it really fits in well, I think. Like, it doesn't try to recreate what C418 brought to the game, but it stands alongside those tracks really well and suits the game. And, you know, whoever's in charge of making those decisions, those are tough decisions. Like, bringing someone to, you know, do the job of someone else who's kind of iconic and loved by the community. And they found someone to do it, that's for sure. Yeah, Skyfighter also commenting that the hate towards Lena might be fueled by the nostalgia of the previous composer. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm incredibly nostalgic for the Minecraft music. Maybe one day I'll be nostalgic for Lena's music too, when it becomes nostalgia. But her music's terrific, and I mean, haters gonna hate, right? That's what they say. So yeah, this game evolves with time. It reminds me of, like, mods and updates and people being like, oh, this is like a mod. I see that comment every snapshot video I make, right? And I just think, well, yeah, you know, a mod adds things to the game, right? Are Mojang not allowed to add things to the game? So it's just one of those kind of, like, cynical perspectives. And need to get away from those things. Need to look for the love and positivity, especially in the realms of creativity, right? There isn't, you know, there are time and places to be negative and have a frown and take things seriously. I don't think creative spaces are it. These are places for good vibes. Matt Ryder 725, thank you for 7 months, and Liger, thank you for gifting a sub to AV Avi. Appreciate you gifting the sub, my dude. Thanks as always. Doesn't the swamp colour here look kind of cool? Why don't you get clay from the lush caves, says Rabid Turtle. Rabid Turtle! Oh my goodness me. Oh, we were just in the lush caves and someone said, why don't you get it from the swamp? So I came over here. Now someone's going to say, why aren't you trading with the villagers? Oh, God, I forgot about the villagers. Xisuma, why aren't you playing Doom? Why are you dressed like Doom Guy and not playing Doom? Xisuma, why are you streaming? God, I should be sleeping right now. Don't you know I'm in a different time zone and it's night time? God, these commenters. Don't they know? Oh. Jeez, I just got hit by a wave of sarcasm. Whew. That was intense. That was strong right there. Gosh. As always, peeps, as I always say, I ain't picking on anyone who comments. I'm just using what you said to have a little bit of fun together. Just being a goofy. Why aren't you waiting for 1.19 and make your own clay? WTH, man, says Skyfighter. Skyfighter gets it. Why would I do this when in 1.19 I can just build some mega contraption? You know, just build it. Just like that. Just click my fingers and build a mega contraption and have a automated clay farm of doom. Why am I not, eh? At what time do people in the UK usually eat, says Essers. At 12 o'clock. Anyone who eats outside of 12 o'clock will be removed from the country. You have 1 minute to eat. That's how it works here in the UK. 12 o'clock, that's when we eat. And you got 1 minute to eat. Why aren't you getting clay balls and making them back into clay blocks? Oh. Oh. What have I unleashed? Let's get back to the seriousness, eh? Which tweaks do you use on your texture pack? If you wanna find out the specifics, just use the code in my videos. The code, I think it's a link to my texture pack, and then you can have a look. Because I can't remember. DJ Eccles, thank you for 49 months of support. That is a crazy, crazy long time. And it's all appreciated, of course. That would solve the obesity problem, says Rock and Lowell. Rock and Lowell, eh? Yeah, I mean, eating for 1 minute a day. Yeah, no, that would create other problems too, wouldn't it? X, would you be down for another banger like Hermit Gang? Always. Always. I'm always down to rap. Always. I heard the rumours that behind your mask you look like the Queen. These rumours. Yeah. Why are you not making a witch farm to do something else while getting clay? Well, because if I was making a witch farm, then I wouldn't be making the clay. I don't think I even need a lot. I just thought, hey, I came here the other day, set up the portal, and like, why don't I chuck some clay? You know? Chuck some clay in a chest in case I need it again. I would love to hear Xisuma do chat pop. I don't know what chat pop is, but I feel like it's a British pun on hip hop. Sneg says, first time at your stream, I'm really excited. Glad to have you with us, my dude. Happy you're excited. X, are you still trying to grow on YouTube and Twitch, or are you just not as bothered anymore, says only Stringy. I'm not bothered at all, really. I mean, you're always gonna, like, try to grow, because, you know, you have an audience, and you want the audience to evolve and expand, but it's like, well, how much effort are you going to put into doing that? And after doing it for so many years, it's like, I'll do simple things with what I do that encourage that, but I'm not going to break my back and strategize and go all in like I've done in the past, you know. Because there was a period where I was absolutely hustling on YouTube, trying to grow the channel, make it a thing for the future. Now I'm here. Now I'm living it. So I'm just going to enjoy it and not worry about that anymore. Why are you getting Minecraft clay when you can get it IRL? Oh, someone really loves the sarcasm. Smitty Ventures says, it is, and y'all have on the best professional Elementor chat pop. Strikes me as something you're like. Are you telling me it's like a legit... I mean, I'm going to assume it's parody. I'm making a note now, chat pop. I'm going to go look into it. Because if it is that like British chap here, rapping and rhyming type thing, I've seen a few of those parodies over the year. I probably don't need it to be a genre. Kiyuma says, consistent fan base over being really popular but temporary. Yeah. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race, right? You build your audience over time, authentically, not off the back of some hype wave, and you enjoy it. Because there's no hype wave in here. Alright, if you're here looking for a wave, you ain't gonna find anything, my friend. There's no waves here. This isn't an ocean. Yeah. Right, I kind of wanted to do some contraptioning today. Let me go look at my notes. and see what I'm inspired for. Also, I'm sitting down. I had some problems with my back this week. After my first workout of the week, which is in the area of the back. Oh! Let me just move. Oh god, it's making a noise! With the banging and the clattering. This isn't professional. Okay, I'm just sorting myself out. Oh! Okay, come on. Come on, there we go. Yeah, so doing my back workout with like pull-ups and pull-downs and one-arm rows and la 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 la. After it, my back, lower back just felt... how to describe it? Kind of like... kind of achy and tight. Felt achy and tight. It's weird because it makes you want to sit, but I think sitting actually makes it feel worse. So I've been standing. Palm Dude says I can do exactly 0 pull-ups. Dude, like, being able to do a pull-up will be so satisfying. If you have a pull-up bar, oh god, there's this guy who's really great for anyone who's a beginner. Like, he's this really like humble calisthenics dude. Anyway, there's like loads of tips out there on how to build your way up to a pull-up. Being able to do a pull-up is very satisfying. Like, you know, not everyone should, but you know, if you want to be physical and in good shape, being able to do like body weight movements is really good. Hybrid calisthenics, that might be it, Tom. That might be it. The guy's always very polite and like welcoming and stuff. Anyway, Peters02, thank you for 3 months, and Burt Potato, thank you for 17, greatly appreciated. Let's hop over this world for a minute. So I've done those 2 things that I needed to do, and there was something else. I just felt the other day like doing a bunch of redstone on camera, and then I had a whole bunch of ideas, and then I couldn't remember them. And so I made like a few ideas. I wrote down a few ideas for some stuff. So one thing that I want to use in my base this season, which we're going to get to soon, is a lot of like rails. And I had this idea today of like, so when you travel around, there's actually 2 ways you could do this, but might do it the interesting way today. So you travel from point A to B, right? A's over there, B's over. Oh god, I'm breaking B. And then you end up with loads of minecarts at point B if you keep traveling the same direction a lot. Now, the way that my base will be laid out, it's weird because this problem actually solves for itself. If I go to a place, I will also go back. So the minecart that makes its way over here goes back as well. But I had this idea. If you have 2 rails, right? We'll engineer this anyway, and then later on I'll decide what I want to use. So if you have 2 rails that send minecarts, right? If you travel from one to the other, right? When you go one direction, you want this one to go back to the other end. So I think what we'll do is like set up. Yeah, we're going to use world edit here to make a example of this that's actually kind of meaningful. Now I'm going to put a bit of space between these. About that much. So let's say we just make it go like 32 blocks, right? Okay, then over the back here we need the whole sand thing. The cactus. We're gonna need a whole bunch of contraptioning here. So you'll have a line that takes you there and a line that takes you back. So over here, let's say this is the line that brings you back. Yeah, okay, I see where we're going with this. This will make sense as I build it. Please make use of the furnace minecart, very underappreciated. You know, because you can't automatically fill it up with fuel, it's kind of a bit of a mute thing in my opinion. Actually, I think you can just have that go like all the way like that. So, you know, thing comes back and gets collected. But the real thing is this. Right, so your minecart comes across to this thing. And then when you want to go into this thing, I've seen this done a bunch of times. I've done it myself a bunch of times. And then I would normally go look up an old video, right? But today we'll try and wing it a bit ourselves. So when you go here, you want the rail to become unpowered. Oh, where'd the torch go? There it is. So you stand here, the rail becomes unpowered, or not, because that block is a full block, so... no, you do need to power it. Interesting, you need to power it directly. I guess a repeater would solve this. But then you got like 2 ticks. So you also need a bit of delay for the next thing to happen. You don't want that. You just want a bit of redstone here. And then it needs to power that on a delay. And then up here you want a block. You actually want like a slab in either of these spots. So that's the space we're operating with. I mean, here's the thing, like I can easily wire it like that, but then, you know, you always want to do it that compact way, right? But maybe there isn't, so like that. Okay. Also, now that I look at it, that torch is not in the best of spots. Ah, then that does that. Because you would want to stand here, right? You want to walk up to it, so... Huh. It's definitely that thing there that needs to be powered. Needs a repeater because we can't have that thing go through there. So, maybe... Oh no, that would run into the same problem. So if you're going to have a floor, like, flush at this level, then you can't do what we want to do. So you can actually need it to be like that, I guess. Even then, no, you need the floor to be a slab. So maybe we rethink this a bit. So you want that to come undone. Why is this so tricky? I think it's because I've chosen to do it in like an awkward angle in the corner. Right, and so if that were that, there you go. Now on the opposite side, we're flipping what we're doing here. So that's the thing that turns off the rail. Now we just need that redstone to get up here, and that to have a delay. Actually, the second bit can do it from down here. Right, but then that, as you can see, breaks that pointing into that thing. Do you know what might fix that? They added this block, and whenever I do a little bit of redstoning, I'm like, yes, this block is amazing. So let's grab the torch. The target block would force it to connect. Right, so now when I stand there, we should see it turns off, and then it would dispense a minecart if there were one. So we'll put a bunch over here. Alright, so player. And then they don't go because this isn't a full block, so you'd also need that, and then off they go. Right, so we have that at either end. Okay, but what I want to... Let's see if we can just flip this quickly. If I go from here to like there, and I stand on this block. Okay, and then come over here. Right, now we got the same thing here, and it got activated. Anyway, now you can probably see the... Oh, interesting. The purpose of all this. I don't understand the target blocks, says Virus. The target block will encourage the redstone to attach to it, right? So the problem is that we want this redstone to interact with that torch, right? So if we make it a target block, you can see the difference in the redstone right there. So, okay, it doesn't interact, does. That is what the target block will help us do. So right, we've got this system where we can travel from end to end. Now let's say that it's likely that a player is going to go this way over and over again, but it's not going to come back the other way. What I was thinking is, can you make a two-way signal? And the answer is probably yes, and probably someone's already done it. But I had a little think, and I decided, oh, that sounds like something that might work. I also saw a Cube Hamster video not so long ago, which gave me this idea, because you can use rails to send a signal. And with that, you might be able to make a two-way system. It's going to involve, like, observers. And we're going to need some buttons. So, like, if I power that, or this one down here, right? Now, how do I get that to travel and send the signal down? So, if I do that, it blinks. Actually goes across, it sends that signal twice, which might be a bit of an issue. Iron Juice, thank you ever so much for 25 months. Greatly appreciated. We've also got Mooney Mary here subscribing as well. Thank you so much. I need to drink some water. Pixel G, thanks for tuning in, my dude. Got 1,200 peeps tuning in. Thank you ever so much, everyone. Greatly appreciated. Now, that is curious. A curious look. I think I know what we need to do with the signal. Rather than a button, we just send in a single pulse. So, does that somehow power this side? Because I can do that. Yeah, now it's starting to look like the video I saw. Ooh! Fascinating. A clock has emerged. Right, so if I sent a signal this way, it would power... Oh, right. That's actually... So this is what sent the signal the other way. Haha! This might not be as easy as I thought, because you got to stop it from sending a signal back. So as soon as I power this one, it's going to go that way. That will require some thinking. Can't you just make a pressure plate on the receiving end that sends a minecart back? Yeah, you could make it so that when you arrive at the other end, it detects an item going through the hopper and then sends it back out. I mean, that sounds like what I should do. I was just thinking about the idea of having a two-way redstone line in the middle, right? This is probably a lot more difficult than I thought, though. So yeah, based on that idea of like, oh, can't you do something with rails? Yeah, I'm now thinking maybe not. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing here. Because if I want to, like, I would have to maybe maybe it's a problem because I sent through, like, if the pulse to begin with. Okay, so what we'll do is the other way around. This is still going to detect, like, twice. Oh, that's what I wanted it to do. Just make one little pulse, right? Oh, wait. I took away the thing. So, like... Yeah, okay. That still makes a clock, so that's terrible. The redstone rails are just the same as a redstone line right now, says Leska. Yeah. So what I need to do is make it different. Piston input, says Mockingbird. Well, I can make the input 1 pulse by doing that, so... You can use the note block or observer for single put input. Yeah. I see Xisuma is working on inventing a new type of clock. Well, you know, knowing that you can power paired rails is useful. I just thought, I was thinking of that Cube Hamster video and I was thinking this might be a way to do something. But maybe not. I think the key idea would be that when you send it that way, this is invalidated. So that might involve some weird contraption with a piston moving it out of the way, which might be completely legit. I should probably now build like up and above. So when this one detects, it has to. Okay, it's detecting that way. What? Now I've got a button. Okay, let's go back. When this one detects, it's going to need to move the other one out of the way or something, and then vice versa. This already looks like absolute madness. Right. I don't know if that counts as both. Oh, and then there's that. That with a sticky piston it will be a flip-flop. Huh. Well then, let's activate that again. This is a bit nuts now. Like, it might do something. I don't even know if I'm building something functional, so... Did that actually do anything? Yeah, look at that. Now, does that also create a signal on this side? It does. So that wouldn't even work. I don't know. So much over-engineering, says Skyfighter. Maybe. I wanted to experiment with it. Like I said, I had an itch to do some redstoning. Like, there's so, you know, you can just be like, why not just fly with an elytra? Why even bother with a minecart rail, right? Why you want to use rails, says Talbar? Because I thought it'd be fun. That should probably not be running. Ask Mumbos is still getting the milk. Let me just pull out the red phone over here. The cool Mumbo phone. Because Mumbo, do you know what he does? He sits around. He sits around fiddling with his hands going, I wish someone would call me and ask me to help them with redstone. He's always on hand, that Mumbo. Isn't he? He's always waiting around for a phone call. Yeah, given the way I'm going to use my base, I'll probably end up just using this. Going all the way down to one end, doing the thing, and then when I need to come back... Go this way. Anyway, if anyone knows how to make a two-way signal using a rail, let me know. I'll probably go watch that Cube Hamster video again. There was a couple other things on my list I wanted to do. Where's my list gone? I can't find it. Oh yeah, okay, so last season we designed a spider farm, and I recently learned that mobs that spawn on scaffolding, which they can do, they also can't pathfind, thus meaning that they resist the flow of water. Or sorry, they don't. Anyway, what you can do is have that, and spiders in theory would be able to spawn in this space. Alright? So you can also waterlog. Let's grab some tinted glass and a bucket of water. I haven't thought about this deeply, I just had a couple of ideas in the head, and then you go into the test world and then you're like, oh, that thing doesn't work, or you could try this. Yeah, so... Aha, it does flow out that way. That's good. So we can scale up this design. So I'm just going to make it a simple tube for now. Right, now the water flows off the edge, the end. You could probably cut that off with something. The other thing is that you're going to need a piston somewhere around here. Ah, yes, it's all starting to come back to me. What it can't do, I think it might be able to in bedrock, it can't flow through it. And then if I put a piston... So, if I put a piston here, right, like facing upwards or downwards as if it came from the floor above, then the scaffolding isn't supported anymore. So what other ways have you got of manipulating the water here? Like, if it could just go one further, that would be brilliant, right? Is it even one further? Or maybe you put like a sign on the end then. And we haven't even figured out how to stop the flow of the water. See, not all ideas are great. Oh, you can't put a sign on the end of the scaffolding. But you could just put something like this. Right. And there might be a better block than that. But now, how do I manipulate that? Let's see what peeps in chat think. This block here, if it's a solid block a scaffold can be placed on, and that's the thing. That could be a dispenser that dispenses the bucket of water, but that's really unreliable. Waterlogged trapdoor, says Fastman. Now, I don't think a trapdoor can support. So let's go, like, we put that there, yeah? That's what you're thinking. You can't put, unfortunately, you can't put the scaffolding directly above. So for 2 high mobs, this could be potentially something, but unfortunately not for that. Let's have a look in chat. We got Night Sport here for 12 months, a whole year. El Manaman is here for 5. Iwee Lil is here with the Prime, and Ovsaur is here for 26 months. Thank you so much for the support as always, peeps. Greatly appreciated. Redstone activated fence gate will not work. I don't think that fence gates can even be waterlogged, right? Let's actually just linger on that for a second. Put the glass in front of the water to stop it if that's what you're trying to do. Right, but then how do I get rid of the glass when I want the water to flow? Dispenser, says Jax. As I've said, you don't want to use a dispenser. Dispenser be unreliable. Right, you can't waterlog those. That's what I thought. What other waterloggable blocks are there that might spin a trick here? Campfire. Spider also won't climb into a campfire. Campfire. Campfires can be waterlogged, but like, no. What? Like this, if this, you know, if I could put the scaffolding on top of that, job done. Job's done. That being said, what I can do is put a block behind it and have the scaffolding from there. But now your platform is shorter and the water flows too far. Waterlogged pistons aren't a thing. Do mobs spawn in scaffolding in Java? They do. Try placing the scaffolding on the block behind the... Oh, you're one step behind, Lucaro. So now we would have to put 2 of these at the end. No, we wouldn't actually, would we? We'd still... Yeah, we're only sacrificing 1 spawning space if we do it like that. This would most likely be a target block at the back here. Let's check if scaffolding can go on top of target. It can. So, yeah, I don't know. I felt like the waterlogging of the scaffold would be more of the thing. But there is no like redstone There's really nothing that fits into the space in front of it. Scaffold support from the side, says El Maniman. Well, no, we want to look at this like it's one wide because we're going to tile it. Otherwise, the shape then becomes based on the water spread, I guess, which is probably not as desirable. Okay, let's go ahead and scale this up. I kind of want to build it in a place where the mobs will spawn. They'll end up spawning everywhere else in this world, won't they? The other thing is that you don't even need that through line of like scaffold support, so you know that's not necessary. We'll go ahead. Oh yeah, there's another thing. So let's get rid of the stuff on this side for a second. We also need to power this. And we can power it with a redstone line literally running on top of the tinted glass. It's kind of tricky to place when the block above's in place, isn't it? Right, so we're gonna make like the end slice and then get it so it's tileable. I should probably also tile it in the other direction now I think about it. Oh yeah, and then I guess down there that's wanted. That's a bit unnecessary, but anyway. And then yeah, we need to block the water off with something. We could actually just put signs. No, we can't. Well, you can use signs. It won't look as good. Right, so where's the redstone? Here, here, here. Let's put one more floor in this thing just to see. How does it perform? Whoops. Is this a dark room or a spawner room? Is this a dark room or a spawner farm? I mean, it depends what you mean by dark room. Obviously we don't want light going in. I'm just building it out of tinted glass because that keeps the light out, right? Which is kind of what we want to do. There is another important component here that I've neglected at this point in time. So at each floor we need to do that. And then yeah, we also need one there for that level. And why does that? Oh, okay, that's because of that. Right, and then go ahead and waterlog it. Oh no, and put these at the end. Then waterlog it. And then use a little bit of world edit. So from here to there, we're going to stack it 10 times like that. Right, and the updating might be a little bit weird. Let's just go a little bit further anyway. Cool, so all of that's covered in. And all of the water is held back currently. So when we give power to these redstone lines, that's when this thing will work. Oh, what's going on? There we go. Oh! Got some quasi power. Oh yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Right, and then we'll attach our own little on-off buttons on these blocks. Green for on, red for off, right? And it also needs some of this in between. Cool, alright, let's turn it on. Interesting. Maybe it's because they were opened by default, so that's actually off, isn't it? There you go. So that would flush any spiders in there out. So these are just the wrong way around, unfortunately. Right, so that's a pretty simple, interesting concept. Doesn't look very pretty. I need an extra one. So yeah, stuff will spawn like elsewhere in this place, unfortunately. I think. I mean, I haven't really set it up for mob testing, but in theory, spiders should be able to spawn in there now. Spiders and only spiders. Doesn't really look like mobs are spawning elsewhere, does it? Am I far enough away? There's something over there. Where are the hostile mobs? I thought we'd see them spawning. Game rule do mob spawning. Let's have a look. Let's find out what it is first. It's set to false. Oh. Thank you, my dude. Thank you. Now we're going to see a bunch of stuff like everywhere else, so I don't need it. Okay, a bat spawned in there and flew away. And then something else spawned in there and started to move around. What is that? It's a bat. Okay, there you go. Spiders will spawn in there. I mean, the world is really clearly not set up for proper testing. Oh! Say what? I didn't expect that. I did not expect that. I was about to say, there you go. Proof of concept. So what happens when we Fascinating. They get flushed out as well. Huh. Would you have suspected that? Huh. Well, that makes it like an all-purpose mob farm where it's compressed. You can have 2 tall mobs, but well, actually, it's only creepers. Ah, maybe the hitbox. Maybe the hitbox is just that bit. Interesting. Right, I kind of wish that we had built that in a different world now. So let's let's go move it to a different world. Oh god, the bats! See you later. Right, we've had some more noises in the ear while I've been engrossed. We've got Wiggly Fox here for 26 months and Bob Gnarly, thank you for 6 months of support, my dude. Greatly appreciated. So, compressed string and gunpowder farm, says Veritai. I don't know why compressed is in the design, right? Yeah, I guess so. Then we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, if we want the buttons, we want to go 1 again. And then expand 1. There you go, right. Let's go create a world specifically for testing this. I wish there was some more world options here. So when you go pick one, you want to make... Oh, I guess that one will probably be suitable. And it will just create that platform that we can remove quickly. Queen of Hearts 137, thank you for your Prime subscription. Greatly appreciated. It turned out to be just a compact version of the typical farm, which is cool nonetheless. It says Skyfire. It did, but oh, I've done this wrong, haven't I? But we also learned, that's what's cool about testing, is that it gets you kind of involved and learning stuff. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Okay, then let's go load, or schematic, no, schematic, load, spider farm. Paste it in, bunch of trapdoor noises. Alright, and I think what I'll do... So from here, we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's think about it. What was it again? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then a 6. So if I go move... Is it 9 or 8? Soon find out. Okay, so it was 1 short. So we'll fit that in like that. Okay, so on the opposite side it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I happen to place that right in the middle, which means what I want to do is move 8 and then stack 8, I think. Okay, so we got that. And then that gives us the scale that we're looking for. Excellent, right. Let's make it nighttime. Let's also give... No, wait. Effect. There we go. And let's activate the farm, shall we? Lots of clicky noises. Oh, wait. We need stuff to spawn in it first. And either player and too close, so we'll move away. Oh, I created a void world. Oh. Oh. And before you even type it in chat, it was a test. It was a test! To see if anyone noticed, and no one did! I was scanning chat the whole time, no one said a thing. It was a perfectly normal and clear test. Y'all are idiots, not me. Don't put the derp face in chat. Do not put the derp face into the chat. It was a test. I repeat, a test. Would they know? Would they notice? Yeah, they want to call me a derp. Jeez, the cheek, the nerve. Right, there we go. There we go. Totally not a derp. Where are we going? More world options, super flat. Right, so what we want to do is that and come over here, look for that block and change it. To tinted glass of all things. Let's use that preset. Oh, Alfaro, 8, thank you for 22 months, my dude. Greatly appreciated. Hope you're enjoying the stream, having a good time as we do something a little different. Some testing, some redstone. Can't you change biomes, says Hurricane. Not with vanilla commands. Okay, we got villages, great. Okay, we'll put the farm in. Game rule, do daylight cycle false. Nope, false. Okay. Here we go. Right. Looking much better now. Oh, we're going to have grizzlies and bad things spawning in our villages, which I don't want. So, Okay, so bats will spawn in here, and spiders. And the bats are definitely annoying, but so do creepers. That's so unexpected. Gotta get my fingers on the keyboard properly. Yeah, so I guess it's like a hybrid farm that also does creepers. And then every so once in a while you do that. Now you could time that really well because they won't fight the flow of water. So you don't have to have it out for as long, meaning it can shuffle back to being off. So with the right kind of timer, that could work pretty well. The timer itself, okay, this is very similar to what I did last season, but you need 2 timers. So when, that can't be one. Can it be 1 block higher? Okay, that works, but when this comes down, that is technically bug powered. Do you know what? It's fine. Let's move it down by 1 and get rid of that. All I need is an observer, really. And this will be a little bit inelegant. Actually, I could put the observer here, and then it might not be inelegant, because I was going to detect the block moving, but if we actually wait for the pulse from up top, right? Then I guess I need the pulse to go into a block, so it's away from where we're building. And then we want probably into a repeater as well, knowing how these things work. So let's go back. So set that off. And have a comparator clock. So when the thing comes down, you better be ready. That's probably not a long enough delay. There's probably a way to make this longer. Maybe use a hopper clock and make it more compact to Skyfighter. I'm just... The hopper clock is just the go-to every single time, and I always want to find other ways to do the delay stuff. What happened there? Oh, I tell you what, it never went back up, so... Does that actually make the decay... I think it makes it a teeny tiny bit longer. That might be just enough of a delay. The trick now is to figure out what is the very compact... We need a very compact falling edge detector. So... Is it that? That's looking good. Now, the next thing that we'll test is with a creeper. Which, the creepers don't spawn on the top floor, do they? So in order for me to get this where I want it to go... Oh, I can fly in very easy. Okay, let's see if we can get it any closer to that trapdoor. Like, it probably won't actually spawn that close. But here's me nudging them in. They don't pathfind in here. Their head's in a block. They're in a scaffold. Yada, yada, yada. So, there they are. And now this thing goes off every so often. Beautiful. In fact, it's too long. Let's go make it shorter. And do the same test again. I do enjoy a little bit of the old tinkering around in Minecraft. It brings me back to the early days with this game. So now the delay should be slightly shorter. Also, I think we've got a thing in there. Oh! Wait. It worked, but it was way shorter than I thought. Damn bat, you distracted me, you did. Let's try it again. Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Wow. Okay, that's a beautiful little bit of redstone right there, isn't it? So we don't need a button at the bottom because that circuit will do the job for us. Who's learning redstone today? Is anyone? I'm learning redstone. You're always learning redstone. Oh wow, Spooky sent me something very interesting. I will have a look at that, Spooky. Liger, you can just publish the video now if you like, and I'll mention it at the end of the video or stream unless I forget. I've already forgotten that this is a stream and not a video, so peeps are learning. Awesome. Cool. Remember, when it comes to redstone, don't tell yourself you can't do it. Alright, don't be like, I'm no good at redstone. Okay? Look, if you spent all hours of the day doing redstone, you'd be good at it. You just got to figure it out. You just got to break down the concepts, right? And that's what's beautiful about it, because then it can be applicable to so many things, because there are, you know, essentially just a series of concepts that you've got to put together. Once you start to learn them, you start to realize, you know, if I stand on a pressure plate, it will create a solid signal. And you'll learn a trick on how to turn that into a pulse. I'll show you that trick right now. So, you know, solid signal. All I wanted was a pulse. Well, observer. Okay. Okay, that's not going to show you unless I do that. Now you got a pulse, but when you step off, you also get a pulse. So now you got to make it a falling edge detector. Oh, well, I didn't know what a falling edge detector was. X, please enlighten me. So, what's going to get powered when we step on here? First time it's that one, second time it's that. So what's your weapon of choice? Do you want it to go off the first time or the second? Right, you just put the next part of your redstone circuit in either one of these places. Or maybe you need both. Maybe you need to detect how long the player is on that pressure plate for. All these little components add up, and you just got to think through the logical steps of it when you're creating contraptions. So all we need now up here is a timer to set this off every so often. Now, I loved using redstone comparators back when you could make very flexible timers with them. For the length that I want, you can't really do that anymore, so we are going to jump to the classic, the one, the only, the EFO hopper clock. The output of which we could put a piece of redstone there. The redstone torch here. That might be a mistake, because we're going to need an output that is a pulse. No, that's correct. Yeah, no, that'll be fine, because that's what it will create. Alright, so I'm just going to put 32 items in there. That's going to stay on for now. That's good. That helps us. Both of these are going to have that. Right, and then we put in the redstone block. Sticky piston behind it, and the thing is now active. So, that's a classic circuit. I'm not going to explain it, even though we're learning. We're going to watch it in action, because there it goes, right? And then, so now I can step away. One thing I will say is, because we're not using the output on this side, when this swaps over, it doesn't create another pulse. So I might actually just want to take a few extra items out of there. And now I want to sort of get like at an optimal distance. There you go. Oh my god, glow squid farm! Accidental also a glow squid farm. It seems like the glow squids get caught behind the trapdoors, which is kind of lame. Zoom out a tiny bit. SallyAnn123, thank you for 77 bumps. Evil X right there. Late arriving tonight. Hope everyone is good. X, it's nice to have you back after your hollybobs. Hollybobs! Whoa, look at all the creepers. And skeletons. Oh, that might have come from a spider jockey. Thank you so much, Sally Ann. Greatly appreciated. Also, Toguro Joe, thank you for 42 months. Still as interesting as 42 months ago. Appreciate it. What a lovely message. Thank you so much. Oh, how close to the ground is this? Okay, everything gets killed. Oh! Oh, they're all dying. I feel like there could be like a beautiful isometric looking thumbnail right here. I don't know. I like the thumbnails when they look really obscure. It's like, what's going on here? Oh my goodness me, how about that? Maybe one without the F3B as well. So we need all of those shiny dazzly creepers. Yeah, I'm not getting a crazy amount of creeper spawns. Probably doesn't help that there's villagers nearby. Let's see if stuff's actually spawning over here. I keep acting like I'm in spectator mode, which I'm not. I'm not sure that stuff really is. Anyway. There we go. Let's just watch that beauty for a minute. I haven't spawn-proofed some of the things above and below, though. The way that the squids spawn in there is interesting. I guess that's a side effect of any farm with water. Here come the creepers. Oh, there's a lot of them. Dang, there's a lot of them. Yeah, I think I might get in there and get a nice screenshot of all the creepers. Just want to make sure we get like a decent amount of them. No, I failed. I failed to press the button in the right amount of time. Look at that. Look at those moves. So yeah, these glow squids have just realised they're going to be hitboxes that the other mobs interact with. So they're probably going to prevent things like the occasional spider and creeper from actually getting pushed out because they're resistant to the water current. So they're kind of a pain, really. They're kind of a thing you don't actually want. But it's a little extreme because of the nature of the world that we're in. So it's probably not going to be that much of an issue. But yeah, they literally spawn when the trapdoors open. Okay, I need to do a bit of spawn proofing down here, I guess. And that should be good. Get your butt off of here. Monster Hunter! Yay! Anyway, very interesting concept. Not the most game-changing, I'd say. Right, now let's go into... So we're going to delete that world. I should probably rename this to like Spider Creeper Farm. And then we go into this test world. By the way, 1,500 peeps have tuned in. Thank you everyone for coming by. Be sure to hit that follow button if you enjoy the Redstone. Also, Mad Array is here for 22 months, saying 22 is my favourite number. Keep up the amazing work and remember to take care of yourself. Thank you, my dude. Yeah, speaking of taking care of myself, so I got this like lower back achiness earlier in the week, so I skipped the workout yesterday, made it a little bit lighter today. Feels like it's going to be all right. Also, though, on Monday I've talked about how I get this cramp in my forearm after doing upright rows, body weight rows, right? So you got parallel bars, you're underneath them, you're pulling up your body weight. It's like doing press ups in reverse. So yeah, I got that cramp later on in the day. Now, I've been doing a new exercise, which is known as wrist rollers. You have a bar with a weight on it, and you roll up the weight with a string up to the bar, and it builds up your forearms. Now, the problem here is that I'm probably just not stretching correctly before I do these movements. So when I do my morning yoga, I stretch out a lot of the body, and like, if I'm going to do a specific workout, I have stretches for parts of the body beforehand. But what I haven't really ever done is stretch for the forearms. Didn't really know how. And what I do is I sit at a desk all day with my forearms in a position that means that they're going to be tightened, right? So I looked up a video for this forearm cramp problem that I've had, and found a really great stretch, which now I'm like quite confident that I might be able to proceed with some of my training if this stretch will prevent it from happening again. But on Monday it was scary because I was like hours later sitting down eating, and I guess my forearms are kind of like crunched up when I eat, you know, like I'm holding a bowl and I'm chowing down all the food into my mouth, and it cramped up, and like I could unease the cramp and then I could bring the cramp back again, and like for like 10-15 minutes it didn't go away. Every time I like flexed the muscle in, the cramp was there, and it was very worrying. I was very cautious with it, and I think it might have been related to doing the wrist roller exercise. But anyway, now I'm like, okay, I really need to like find out what that is. How do I fix this? So I searched for, you know, weightlifting forearm cramps, and I found a video, and the guy's like, you know, literally explaining the sorts of things that I'm doing and the exact pain that I'm experiencing. And that doesn't obviously mean that I've been correctly diagnosed, but it seems rather likely. So I'll cautiously proceed. But it looks like that might be the trick. And now I've got this great stretch that I can really feel getting to those muscles and like lengthening them out, because I spend a lot of the day at a desk with my arms in a position that means they're all kind of squashed up. So, you know, they're not getting the treatment that they need, essentially. Or they're not getting stretched out the way they need. So I'm hoping that doing that's going to help. But that was another alarming thing about Monday. It was just like, alright, a bit of lower back pain. Took me by surprise. I'll work on it. I'll rest. But then also later in the day I got this forearm cramp, and I'm like, it's not so good. Right, Spooky, I'm going to assume... let's grab a note block. I'm going to assume there is a particular way in which this has been activated. Repeaters on 2 ticks. Thank you. I did not spot that. Ah! It doesn't look like a normal note block anymore. Also, Liger, thank you. Okay, so... Ooh, clever. So now what we want to do is tile what you're seeing right here. Okay, so I'm going to put a block there. Let's make it a little bit longer on this end. Right, hopefully when it looks like it's all reset correctly. Let's go Tesco. We're going to put this here, as well as... Don't break it! Oh, look at that! It goes all the way down. Yeah, except I've made a bit of a mistake here. That's not how that works, is it? See, what I could just do is that. But then the repeater was like, let's make it turn on for a moment. Yay! But also... Yay! So if ever you wanted to send a signal in both directions, you could probably have these modules spaced to have the right distance for the redstone rail. Spooky, you're a wizard! You're a wedstone wizard! A wedstone wizard? Cool Morse code transmitter, says Sir Ripoff. You could transmit Morse code with it, yeah? I mean, that'd be another cool thing, right? Like, if you hooked up like a decoder and an encoder on either end, so you could have like a button that you press and then it sends out a series of pulses, and each button has a different series of pulses. I can think of a way that you could do that. Kind of rudimentary. Elementary, my dear Watson. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't think I'm actually going to try and hook this up, but Okay, I know how to build the beginning part, but maybe not the next part, so this might look very familiar to some of you. You're gonna need, like, this. Whoopsie! I didn't even move my mouse wheel. Okay. So if I press, like, the button, this is gonna fire up, so the input will need to be configured for timing's sake. But it would look something like this. And the bigger this array, the more data it can hold. So when it passes through the signal, it's going to create a series of pulses. Those pulses are going to be transmitted downwards via redstone torches. Actually, that's not good because I just got to invert the signal at the beginning, I guess. So if you have torches that are on, the signal below will stay on regardless if one turns on or off. So this is like signal flow management right here. So therefore, our input actually needs to be on, and I kind of want to activate the input with a short pulse. And short pulses and these things don't go together very well, so you need a 2-tick somewhere here. In fact, they can just go there. Then you need the torch. Okay, so now everything's on, right? And so now we can send signals down below. So when I do this, oh yeah, that's in the wrong place. I actually think I might have got part of the concept wrong here. Two ticks should turn off the redstone. Right, so you saw what it did below. The thing is, it actually needs to not cross-reference here. Like, maybe there is a way. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna forget this cross-reference thing. I'm not actually quite sure what I was trying to do then. Well, I am, but it may not have been the right use case. And maybe what I'm gonna do now also doesn't make a lot of sense, but let's say we extend this, right? And this is an array, so we have multiple of these going along. Now, when we press that button, okay, we have a slight problem, which is that we don't have enough delay between each one. I think I might give up on this in a second, because I'm going to end up overdoing this. Nah, that's not going to fix it either. Okay. There is a way I can fix this. Okay, there's a way I can fix this. I can remedy what we're doing here, I think. Right, if I go ahead and just completely change up everything that I'm doing, we're not going to use torches at all. Right, and to demonstrate a point, put a torch, put that at the end there. Right, so stays on the whole time. That's absolutely fine, or is it? Okay, my idea turns out to be rather flawed. No surprise. Like, there's a way to do this, but essentially what you want to do is create like a blinking pulse. And the idea of setting up in an array is that you have a row of them and then you just change like the bit where you want it to blink differently. Right? So like the next one along can have block there, misses that one, has a block here, and then the way it sends the pulse, it blinks differently. There's probably a way better way to do this. I just didn't think it through that much. But then you have something on the other end that receives the pulses, and this is where you might need to use like a different signal flow or those torches, so that if the pulses come in the right way, then it decodes it or unlocks it. That's where you might actually need this setup, where there's like sometimes there's a torch and sometimes there's not. So yeah, so then you can send a series of pulses through this redstone line, this contraption, and then when it arrives at the other end, the decoder can select the right input that came through it. I'm bad at redstone, so I'm lost, says Evil Freak. Don't tell yourself you're bad at redstone. Tell yourself you're learning, and you're going to keep trying. Right, we had some gifted subs a moment ago from Iwi I. Thank you for gifting subs to Robocop, Brownie Bites, Stormageddon, Sunrise Hannah, and Mrs. Cod. Y'all been gifted subs. If you heard your name, be sure to say thanks in the chat. We also got Neela Flowers here for 6 months, and Billman68 for 64. That's a stack. A stack of subscriptions. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Minecraft cryptography is more than just redstone, says Rudy Rarely Wins. I don't know if what I'm getting at is cryptographic in any way. Jeez. Yeah, anyway, you got the idea. Oh, we're being raided by Zedaf. Now there's a community that can appreciate some redstone. Welcome all the raiders. Thank you for the raid, Zedaf. I've been redstoning today. Look at me. Oh! I'm such a great redstoner. 9 pieces of redstone. No, okay, enough of the goofiness. Peeps, let me show you what we've been up to today. We did a bit of stuff on Hermitcraft, gathering resources. Then I rebuilt an old design for getting in a minecart and going on your travels. And speculated the idea that we would have a line in the middle so that when you leave at one exit, it sends a minecart across the other line to come back to you, but like, there are easier ways of doing this. Anyway, Spooky Dokie came through and gave us this amazing contraption. Oh, I didn't look in the right place. Let's try it again. Okay, so we just made the lamps turn on right. And I guess important detail, like, you can see the lamp here. Why didn't it turn on? Did I break something over it? What? It didn't turn on, did it? Okay. Maybe I was being a goose. Let's try again. So you can see, there you go. You saw the lamp here didn't turn on, right? Uh-huh. So it's a two-way wire. And then I started to speculate a little bit about sending encoded signals down the line. But anyway, we also built a spider farm. So I'm going to jump over and show you that. Because I decided I wanted to get through some ideas for redstoning today, and we built this. Okay, glow squid spawn in it, which in this testing environment they kind of get in the way, but otherwise we learned that creepers can spawn on scaffolding when there's a block in their head. Like that one right there is a block in its head. So this thing scaled up could be a really cool creeper and spider farm, and the trick is that they don't pathfind when they're on the scaffolding, so they won't fight the current of the water either. So the brief moment it sweeps the mobs out is pretty brief. In fact, it's just done with this timer down here. So this is a you know, you got your hopper clock up the top. Can we speed this along? Yep, and then it activates this. And then boom, up it goes again. And that gives it the perfect time to push stuff out. And then you get a whole bunch of drops. String, gunpowder, and apparently ink sacs. Are you going to make a separate video on how to make this farm, says Only Stringy? Probably not. I don't really do tutorials and stuff anymore, do I? I did one, and it wasn't very... the viewership wasn't really there. which was absolutely fine and was kind of what I was expected. I wanted to make that video for myself, really, just because I hadn't done one in a while. So, and if I come up with like some killer contraption or something that's really different and beneficial, then I probably would. But for one like this, there's so many ways of making farms. This is just another iteration on it that uses target blocks, scaffolding, but it doesn't revolutionize anything, right? Let me go check the list. So we did okay, so I had some 1.19 ideas, but I think I might think them through and save them from another day. I guess there's like one other thing here that I just wanted to test, because I don't think I've seen this done. The speculation on how to create a lava farm with dripstone seemed to be player-based, as I remember it, and I think it's because dispensers probably don't interact with cauldrons, but I need to refresh my memory. Yeah, so just activate that. Yeah, okay, so that doesn't work, but I just realised that's not actually the way around I was looking to do it. We swap these around. Do that. Oh, I've lost my redstone power now. Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, that's kind of what I wanted to test, because I felt like we would have seen that already. So if I want to make a dripstone farm, it's going to be a case of just a rail going around with the player, like clicking on all the cauldrons and stuff, isn't it? Mini Mumbo Jumbo says, do you like Disc 5? And as Liger points out, on my music channel, a review video just went out answering that question. Did a review on the latest soundtrack, including the music disc. So head over to my music channel if you want to check that out. Or a piston feed tape, says Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. Yeah, you could piston feed all the cauldrons around. I imagine you'd need a lot of cauldrons, and then that would become like a rather big, noisy, block-moving contraption. I imagine the rail will probably be better for the server or the world in that case. But it might just be a case of doing something that's fun and different. Could you use a minecart hopper to pick up the bucket, maybe? Now, the bucket doesn't pick up the lava, so the point was that you can't use a dispenser, so... Hey, we got a noise in the ear! It's Poster Nerd here for 2 months. Thank you, my dude. I'll tell you what, peeps, for the next bit of the stream, I'm going to sit down again. Keep changing that posture, that's what's good for you. Also, I need to stretch out those arms, those muscles. After this. Mumbo did a really good farm with a feed tape last season. Oh, did he make the same type of farm with a feed tape? You know, I don't really know how to make feed tapes in this game. Like, I kinda, you know what, let's see if we can get into it a little bit. We'll try and start with something relatively basic. You know what, maybe this actually isn't too bad. I've had my redstone thinking cap on a lot more lately, so therefore I'm feeling a little more confident, I guess. So there's always this like problem of like, where do you place the first block is probably the thing. Okay, so what is that? That's 6. I kind of wanted to make it 5. Just start with a little 5x5, right? Okay. This is actually an interesting little challenge. Like, you can go look up someone else's video or whatever, but to do things yourself is always interesting. Now, I think you're probably going to find that you need like 1 block in 1 corner for this to work. And when the block arrives... Right, yeah. So you can't do that. However, if we don't use the observer, it might just be a little more simple. So that would power that. So if I put this here, it goes across to the next one, right? And before you know it, we're going to have this thing up and running. Interesting. Now, I don't know if that can run any faster, but that's what we're talking about. So a player could literally stand holding right click. Yeah? And then all of those cauldrons, if they were, get moved around with a dripstone above them and the lava. Rafi Warren, thank you for 26 months. Appreciate it. Just came, did we have curry talk today already? I haven't had curry in a few weeks. I've just, I don't know, I've just been a bit like feeling different about food lately. Just eating because I need to eat and not being so obsessed with it. So, and I haven't really indulged much either, which I think is a good thing. I was starting to think like, I don't actually need to do this so often. But, that being said, going to, actually it's not curry, is it? I'm going to a Chinese buffet later in the week, so I'll probably stuff myself then. Okay, so how could we scale this to be a little more compact? Also, like you need to think about like how does this break? Like, what if I leave the world and come back in? Does it just continue? Because that's... I mean, let's say I break it myself, right? Like, there's always a block... Okay, so in order to... Yeah. Now... how do I want to do this? I need a different type of block for a second. So if I, like, deliberately break this for a second... Oh, wait, was it? Oh, no, it's because I did that. Okay, yeah. Like, what happens when it gets stuck? How do you reboot it? How do you know which one, you know, needs that? That's my concern. Rafi says, yeah, that's a great attitude towards food, in my opinion. Good for you. Thanks. Yeah, you know, I don't have a problem with it. It's just that it was a bit of a coping mechanism. You know, probably a healthy one at that during the lockdown. And then I think it's just become a bit of like a routine. And I don't know, I'm very aware of how my mind works. Like, getting air quotes addicted to things. Like, I like that it comes back around over and over again, right? But then, like, is it really beneficial right now? I'm not sure that it is. So, you know, I need to probably... I feel like maybe I need to do something that doesn't remind me of that, if that makes sense. You know, the whole lockdown stuff. Like, we need to get past that mentally, because, you know, it's a new year, or whatever. Okay, so here things might get a little tricky. Yeah, they do. It definitely gets a little tricky because that redstone would power both. Now, if I use a target block here, I'm not sure that it would... Okay, yeah, so some distraction can actually be made. Interesting. Interesting. This also makes me wonder... nah, maybe not. I don't know. Looking for a more intelligent way to power it. So then the next one can shift it back. Here's the thing. So I'm going to power it like that, right? Let's go ahead and put a block over here. Oh, this is an immediately interesting redstone project to me now. I'm like, ooh, things are getting fancy. So what we probably want is something that's hard to... Oh my god, I've just realised something really important about this. When you switch it over to the cauldron, what happens? Nothing. Ah. Well. So we need to do something a little different now. Okay, let's go grab the observer. I think the observer is now essentially essential, right? So we know we can't have it detect the piston face, right? That can't be done. What do I not need here? The lamp? Let's get rid of these. Skyfighter is suggesting that they would need more time to fill up and you'd need a bigger tape. That also makes me think that maybe having it automated isn't the way to go. Or better yet, have it run on a clock when the player is ready to use it. So that'd be cool. Stand on a pressure plate and have the thing, you know, move around. Anyway, let's just... Oh yeah, okay. Okay, let's just linger on what we're doing here for a second and then jump to that idea. You know, I was kind of interested in how that would work. I feel like I still want to figure out what we would do in that scenario, right? You see, there's what you're trying to do in Minecraft, and then there's what you can do with Redstone, and you know, you don't always have to have that practical use because you have the opportunity to learn elsewhere. So yeah. Right, it punched one out of the circle, which is fine. And again, you know, what happens when we relog? Ah! So that breaks when you come in and... Oh, this one's now broken... Oh, that's because I broke it by design, I guess. Right, so... We'll come back to that another time, but we need to do something kind of similar here. However... Oh, do you know what? Like, the next piston would be, like, here. Okay, that makes it really... I guess you just don't stack it side by side, you have it here. Okay, so let's go back to this concept. That we're going to push the cauldrons along like this. But what we're not going to do is have it automate because the thing is there. I could do that. In fact, I probably should make the redstone relatively independent. So I'm thinking that we send a pulse to all of the pistons when we want it to move. But that involves timing them, la-di-la-di-la, and it gets a bit complicated. So we do actually want them to be independent, but we want one of them to run off of a clock that only runs when the player's here. So when the player's there, that's when they all get moved around, but not when the player isn't. So we're going to make that one, this one here. Actually, I'll tell you what, let's do this all locked down. We got UG Leo here with the Prime. Thank you for the Prime, my dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream. We got 1,800 peeps tuning in. Be sure to hit that follow button here on Twitch. And if you don't follow me elsewhere, I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I got the first channel, the second channel, the music channel, the search channel. There's so much other stuff. Go check it out if you haven't done so before. But anyways. So this one here is controlled by us. So therefore, I will simply have a button for now. Right, and then I can add these cauldrons and find out how far they push. Which is kind of slow. Ah, it's taking forever. I'm so impatient. There you go. Right, so then when it gets to here, that's when we have the one that points that way. Then we have the one that points this way. Except there, because we're going to want one here. That's with the thought that they get pushed back this way too. So I'm kind of thinking like you power it here, but there ain't room for that. So we need room for an observer to detect it incoming. Therefore, this one's now here. Okay, so we've got to detect those incoming cauldrons. And now it's starting to look a little simpler. Detect it, I say. Detect it. Yeah, and then over here. And that can be done in this spot too. Right, so the cauldrons are getting pushed around, right? Oh yeah. That's annoying. I feel like maybe what I need is something temporary here then. Okay, in which case... that is very temporary. Classic mistake. Classic mistake. Okay. Not really sure how to do that then. Yeah, and what I probably should be doing right now is this. Ooh, I got those the wrong way around, as you can clearly see. Cool. It's good that the cauldron isn't a block that redstone interacts with that could like mess up something. Right, now I will say it's starting to look a little less compact at this point in time, isn't it? And if I then want to push it this way, it's going to be... Okay, yeah, like, I'm getting an understanding for this, but the layout is just going to be so... peculiar. I feel like this might not be the right way to look at it. Like, you need to create something more tileable. Like, something maybe diagonal? But then you'd end up using a lot of pistons, maybe? Because you could have like... Let's see. So, it's got to be the incoming one. So, there's a cauldron there, and then there's a cauldron, yeah, there that gets pushed. And then, you need two, because you need an incoming thing here. This is where you really need like a system to just nudge the first one along, like nice and easy. I'm not really sure what the best way to do this is. Yeah, okay, wait, what happened there? So... That's kind of what I'm thinking of, but like, look how spaced out this thing is going to end up being. So, the next one would go here. Ah, and then it would power that one, right? So, you can't have them that close together. This is probably going to require a lot of thought. Let's go back to this one again. I mean, another thing is maybe you can use vertical space. There is definitely a lot to consider and think about when making these tape feeds then. There is definitely something to be figured out here. Okay, so let's say we put this in place anyway, over here. Right, what would be helpful actually is having this. So like down here. Okay, yeah, I want an observer. A note block. That's got to be the right way around. I guess I'm looking at the block, so one above. So when I hit that, it's going to create a cauldron. And then I just need that a second later, right? So, nice. Okay. I think what you might do for the overall layout is move this. It's just my gut instinct that this needs to be moved over by one. Let's go ahead and... Ooh, doesn't that then move that one too? Actually, no, it doesn't. Oh yeah, look at that, it does. What am I on about? Okay. Right, so what's the thing now? It's like a gap and then that. Maybe actually I got that wrong. I think it's probably the position of the very first one that's making me think it's off. Let's actually Okay, let's undo that. Although already it seems to me like this one might store more cauldrons per piston, but let's try and just make it compact. So, okay, you got that diagonal thing going on. Now, can that be there? Hmm. Am I even doing this right? Yeah, let's stick to that then. Okay, so can I use commands here? Kind of. Pretty sure I can. Let's think it through a little bit. But if I go, yeah, if I go do this, right? Let's say we do that. What I don't want to take with me is that command block, but it's going to come with me. I think, we'll see. We'll soon find out. So copy, and then paste. So that looks, you know, pretty good, but then we got all these extra command blocks, so we'll get rid of those. And then every time we whack that, so then what can probably happen is it goes round the corner and comes all the way back diagonally and back to the player, right? Then this wouldn't actually be here, this one. There'd be like a little bit of space. The player's holding down right click, and we've got a clock that's based on when the player's actually there, right? And it's doing that. And it goes through all these other pistons. So let's try and build the next bit, and let's do it like this. Like, let's try and set up the grid for it coming back. Right? So you're gonna have like, which way is it gonna fit in that way? So the side of the observer is quite telling, actually. It's gonna be coming back, so it'll be there. Yeah, so you can kind of see how that would work going in that direction. What if I can just rotate? Can I rotate this? I think I can. Oh, that would save me some time. If I go here, copy, let's rotate 180, paste it onto this spot. Yeah, you see now, can I do that again? We've actually got the line. Oh, right, okay, that saves me building anything. Just paste it in, you know? Now you could, possibly, maybe, even have it so that that bit of redstone was... No, that's actually probably a terrible idea. I was thinking like, oh, more compact, but no. Now that, to me, although interesting, doesn't seem like the way to go. This is probably going to end up being really awkward, but when I figure it out, it'll probably be the better way to do it. So what we need is a piston here to kind of align and go in that direction. Come on. There we go. Ye old observer is not on my hotbar. So then that's going to come all the way over here to where we want piston on this spot. And that, my friends, might actually just be all of it. Well, until we get back over here again, so... It's a good point. I got to play the waiting game a little bit. Oh, that does not look good. Right, so I got it off by one block. Bang. Now Beast says, just wandering in and sorry for asking for the millionth time. What are we building here? Oh, we're building a bunch of pistons that push cauldrons. That's what we're building today. Right, let's see if this will work. Will it push them? It looks like it will push them. Oh God! Why? Why did that happen? Actually, that's a very... Oh, it's because I missed one piece of redstone. God, what a wally. I mean, redstone is powering this whole contraption. Oh God, it's all gone wrong again. Right, okay, what is actually wrong here? Oh, I think Is this all just, like, very incorrectly aligned? That should have done that. It shouldn't have pushed it. Maybe it's because... Oh! Maybe we'll never find out. Right, okay, it seems to work now. Yeah, and as you can see, the cauldrons are... Ooh, okay, no, that's not going to be there anymore, so... Then we have this thing here that gets set off a moment before. Right, and so now it's down for that thing that I said about the player. So how am I going to do this? You stand on a pressure plate somewhere around here. You're going to create a constant signal. So we need to make some sort of clock. I think my gut is to make just a quick and simple clock like this. That looks like it might go a little bit fast, but I'm ready to live life on the edge. I'm ready, peeps. So, and it's not very well placed. Let's go ahead and place it a little better. I might live to regret this. Oh God! Wait, what are we doing here? So, like that. Okay, we need to... Everything here will be very unelegantly put together for now. Okay. So, our player... Right, when we stop, it stops. When we stand here, it goes. Oh God, that looks terrible. Right, I've actually created a continuous loop. Interesting. Which is not what I want. So when it gets to the end here... Oh wait, it's like, why is that there? That's the problem. So that's the thing ending. This is too fast, so we're going to slow it down a bit. You know, very, very, very basic stuff here. Right. So now when I stand here... Okay, we've got a double pulse, and I know why. That's a... that's the thing. Hey, this means we have to wait for that thing to come all the way back round before this starts again. Dang! There are some problems. Okay, let's try something different. So... Let's go back to, like, tradition and stop using these observers, these new... what update was the observers, eh? Okay, so we want that there. Actually, this is probably very poorly timed, but we'll see. Oh, yeah. It's not too bad. What you want... Okay, there's another way in which this whole thing can fail now, which is that when that's extended, it might be at the wrong time. Not sure if that would cause a problem or not. Now, look at this. The way that it's extending means that the arm stays out for too long. And if I do that, it will sort of double pulse. Oh, it's actually, yeah, it's actually doing the loop. Maybe that's not so bad. Like, do that. There you go. When it comes back, it's correct. Now, you can see what the problem with this is, can't you? It's too slow. There's got to be a way to make that happen quicker. Now, every piston adds time delay. So a design like this, where you maximize the length between pistons, would be better. Piston tapes are interesting, and I have a lot to learn, it would seem, right? Just, hang on, okay, so some of you are suggesting that we have more cauldrons in the mix. That is totally doable. But the problem is, what happens when this stops, right? So when I, the player, decide I'm no longer using this, look at that, they go there. Which might not be the worst thing ever. So then, when I go, oh, I'm going to use it again, those then need to get pushed back in. So then you'd need another contraption, which might be a rather inelegant way to do it. Very, very interesting. I've got to say, that was rather curious little experiment. Fostright says obsidian. So if I put obsidian here, then they will be... then the system will essentially break, right? Like, this one won't be able to push the blocks any further. So, it's a very curious thing. So I think what you're going to need is definitely to use this, but then to have a way to... I don't know, I'm going to have to do my research on piston feed tapes now. Like, I've learned some fundamentals today. Maybe I'll understand some of those tutorials before. I've watched them in the past, and I'm just like, whoosh, goes over my head, because I learn by doing. But today I learned some things that there are probably answers to, right? I'd like to be here when he sees the common sense solution, says Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. I mean, is it going to be common sense? It's just going to, like, I can't see what it is. This stuff's technical, it's tricky. It requires some thought. Maybe, I don't know, like, maybe the fact that we're... Yeah, maybe the problem is that we're doing it based on when it arrives with these observers. Maybe... because we got stuck in here and did it the whole way. Initially, I was going to run this thing so that the clock would power the whole system at once. And the advantage there would be, like I said, I remember saying it now, I said, oh, you have like timing, right? So this works on the timing of the arrival of blocks. And maybe it would be better to do it based on a redstone signal that has like maybe a 1 tick delay for each piston. And then that way, it can push blocks around faster. I don't know. Because the other problem is that every piston leaves a gap in front of it. And in order for this to work faster, you can't have these gaps, right? Every time there's a gap, that's it being slower. So there's probably a method where you leave the block in front of the piston. Did we see we hadn't got anything like that here? I will have to look into it. It's going to be fascinating because this revealed a lot that was very interesting. Cuckoo Puff says, yeah, he's reacting to a misreading of a message. I don't think I misread it. I mean, like, to call it common sense, I mean, technical engineering of stuff like this isn't like a common sense thing, is it? Like, people don't common sense understand how mechanics like this stuff work. You have to learn them. You go to you know, college and whatnot to learn engineering and other things that are similar. Anyway, I'm going to look it up because this was just very fascinating and revealed a lot of things about how these piston tapes work. And it brings us to the end of the stream. If you want to check out a review to the latest Minecraft soundtrack, there should be a video on my music channel. If you go to YouTube and search Xisuma music channel, you should find it. And then subscribe as well. Please subscribe. Oh God, if you don't subscribe, I'll cry. No, I won't cry. I'm not going to guilt trip you. Today, what we'll do is go look for a random Minecraft channel to raid, right? Sub 50 viewers we're going today. This dude is playing a guitar, so that's obviously not Minecraft, but I like guitar. So I've got somewhere to send you, I guess. Alright peeps, for supporting a random Minecrafter in the Minecraft community. Thank you as always. Thanks to everyone who subscribed, resubscribed, donated and cheered. Thank you to all of my patrons, my mods, the people gifting the subs. Y'all are appreciated and I will see you again soon. You can hit that raid button, hit that follow button. Take care. Bye.